So let's take a look at this next one. This is from Deborah. She says, I have a 78-year-old female client who had shingles 10 years ago. Now, shingles results from the herpes virus, okay? The herpes virus, the herpes simplex virus that attacks your lip, it's the same thing. She has nerve damage down the right side of her chest above her breast with scarring. Now, when you get shingles, typically what happens is you will get, it's really severe pain that comes with shingles, and you'll also get a rash that occurs usually on the back. They tend to follow the nerves that travel along the ribs, and so you'll get this rash that will follow along a rib or maybe more than one rib and so on. It might come all the way around to the front. So she's got nerve damage on the right side of her chest, above her breast, with scarring. She's on several medications for pain. She's tried to wean herself off the meds, but the pain is too great. She's now using essential oils topically, and it does give some more relief. A doctor told her years ago that she would have this pain the rest of her life. Okay, and she believed this. All right, well, okay. Right there is a potential issue. We'll come back to that. For over 2 years now, we've used the body code and T3 to work through underlying reasons for this pain, as well as her own belief system. I must say the pain has subsided, but does not go away completely. Any suggestions for a chronic issue such as this? I was at the retreat last weekend, by the way, just awesome. Thanks, Deborah. And I am at the point where I want to ask her body if there's a state of resistance to her healing, or does this serve her in some way? But at her age, this is a touchy subject. Any words of wisdom? Thank you. Well, yes, absolutely. Okay, so first of all, when a doctor, like here we have this this doctor telling her years ago she'd have this pain the rest of her life, and she believed this. All right. Well, the subconscious mind is a very, very powerful thing, as you know. I think I've told you the story before about the woman who wasn't feeling good. She went into the hospital. They ran some tests, and they found out that she had cancer, and it was the type that there's nothing they can really do. And they told her to get her affairs in order because she had about 6 months. And 6 months, almost to the day later, she died. But later, the hospital was doing a records review and found out that her file had been mislabeled, and it was another person's file. And there's nothing wrong with her, actually. Her tests were all negative, et cetera. And so that's how powerful the subconscious mind is. So I suppose that in that case, the other person who was told, you know, we run all the tests, and I know you're not feeling good, but there's nothing wrong with you, that person probably got better and is probably still alive to this day. Who knows? But you know, to illustrate how powerful the subconscious mind can be, let me share a couple of stories with you. After World War II, there was a man who made the rounds of the medical schools in Europe because he had developed this amazing ability. When he was in the concentration camps in Nazi Germany, he was repeatedly beaten savagely by the SS guards. And while he was being beaten, somehow he was able to separate his mind from his body and spirit, I don't know. But anyway, he was able to gain power over his physical body to a point that after his beatings would occur, he would heal up almost instantly. And so the stories that I have read about this man was that he was taken to these medical schools, and I remember reading one of the particular stories where he was taken in to an operatory or into a school where they had all of these medical students in this auditorium. First they x-rayed, first they had this man in the front of the room, and they actually took out a sword, like a 3-foot-long sword, and they put it through this man's abdomen. Okay, put it right through him. And he didn't seem to be in any pain or anything, and they put him on a gurney and wheeled him down to the x-ray room, radiology. They did x-rays from several angles, developed the x-rays, brought the x-rays back, showed the x-rays to everybody. Meanwhile, he's still lying there on the gurney with this sword through him, and they took the x-rays, proved to everybody that he had this sword in his body. And when they pulled the sword out, it just healed up almost instantly. Now, that might seem impossible, But if you think about the human body and what the human body really is, which is nothing more than a very, very complex energy field. Nevertheless, that's what the body is. The body is just a pure energy field. And so somehow I think that's how that was working. The other thing that happens with people, and hopefully some of this is new for some of you, and not just old things I'm telling you, but there are documented stories. I was reading one of these where a person had multiple personality disorder, and he would shift from one personality to another. Well, when he was in one particular personality, he had full-blown diabetes, type 1, insulin dependent. So he would have to take insulin, and all the blood tests confirmed that's what was wrong. However, when he would shift from that personality into another personality, the diabetes would just be instantly gone, and all of his blood tests would be completely normal pancreas function. Isn't that crazy? So, so anyway, I guess the point of this is that if on some deep level, she really does believe that that she's going to have this the rest of her life, and that there's no way for her to get well, the problem with that is that you can't fight the subconscious mind. If her subconscious mind really does believe that, then you can do all kinds of things, and it's going to be difficult to get rid of. However, we do have tools to go into the subconscious mind and fix those things. Now, it looks like you've already been using those tools, including T3, which of course is a very advanced way to do it. You know, if you're reluctant, although I'll tell you what, she's 78, she's had this all these years. If it were me, I would assume that she's probably pretty open to asking questions. So on the first question that we had, if you remember, we were talking about asking questions in another way, surrounding the dragon. Is it okay for me to not have this? Is it safe for me to not have this? Do I deserve to have this? If that's a yes, then you know you've got a problem. Do I deserve to be well from this? And the answer to that one, more often than you think, is no, because people feel like they deserve to suffer for some reason. You can also ask that question: do you deserve to suffer? If it were me, Deborah, what I would do is I would actually just do a session where you're just asking questions to see what might show up. Because the reality of it is, I don't believe, even though she's 78 years old, I don't believe that that she has to be stuck with this. Okay, but sometimes the body makes us dig. Okay, and that's how we dig, is by being creative and asking questions that normally we might not think of. Okay, so so good luck with that. Good luck with that, and I hope that that helps.